History in San Antonio. Gregg Popovich is now the all-time winningest coach in NBA history. Spurs beat the Jazz on Friday night, 104-102. Pop passing Don Nelson with 1,336 regular season wins. Popovich in his 26th season as head coach, all with the Spurs. During his career, he's led San Antonio to 22 straight playoff appearances, including 5 NBA championships. It all started in 1996 when Popovich was serving as San Antonio's general manager. He fired Bob Hill, made himself the team's head coach, and the rest is, in fact, history. Gregg Popovich stands alone at the top. Already had the most regular season and playoff wins in NBA history, but now he stands alone with the most regular season wins by a head coach in NBA history, passing Don Nelson. He once served as an assistant for Don Nelson in Golden State, and now Pop atop the list. Let's welcome in Avery Johnson, who played for Gregg Popovich. Avery, you were one of Pop's favorite players. What were you thinking when he fired Bob Hill in 1996 and made himself head coach?
I was thinking, what are you doing, Pop? But at the end of the day, Pop made an unbelievable decision. Bob did a really nice job. But Pop, obviously, with his legendary career, he came in, changed the culture, made us more of a defensive-oriented team, and a team that wanted to copy the Utah Jazz offensively, the Bulls defensively, Detroit Pistons, their defense, and just the discipline of all of the best teams in the NBA.
You helped lead the Spurs to an NBA title in 1999. You and Pop working hard to get that done. You played for several coaches during your great career. What was it like to play for him?
Discipline, details, just a lot of communication, and trying to just problem solve. There wasn't much room for error in terms of it was really his way or the highway early on. He became a little bit more flexible and nimble and trendy as times went on. But early on, he had an idea of how he wanted to play, how he wanted to practice, how he wanted to communicate, and we had to make sure that we followed through on his game plan.
What do you think all-time winningest coach in NBA history means to Gregg Popovich?
Well, it means a lot because both of us in 1993-94, we were with the Warriors. I was a player. He was an assistant coach, and he was under Don Nelson, whose record he just broke. So it really means a lot, especially for him with his family. He lost his wife a couple of years ago. Now he has grandkids. He's kind of transformed himself. This means a lot to him for the fans of San Antonio, who's been a small market team. They haven't been the Los Angeles Lakers or the New York Knicks. So at the end of the day, I know he wants to give this to the fans and all of the players and assistant coaches that have been a part of his organization.
Yeah, he was an assistant under Don Nelson in Golden State. Nelson recorded his wins with 4 different organizations. Popovich sets the record with 1 franchise with the Spurs. Avery, Pop is 73 years old. What's left for him to achieve?
Nothing. There's nothing else to achieve, nothing else to prove. He can ride off into the sunset whenever he wants to. Who knows when that's going to happen? He just won a gold medal, Hakeem, this past year. So there's nothing really else to prove. We won our first championship in 1999. Subsequently, he's went on to win 4 more for a total of 5, lost a couple in the finals. But there's really nothing else to prove. He's coached David Robinson, Tim Duncan, 2 elite players. Now it's more of a rebrand, remodel with this young team that he has now. He's obviously developed, some players in the, all-stars. They're not in playoff contention right now. I think they'll be able to get that 10th spot in the play-in game. But again, this is his swan song. He deserves it. He won't deflect any attention to himself. We'll deflect enough attention to him. I am so glad on a night like tonight that I work for CBS Sports HQ, so that that we can report on such a phenomenal accomplishment for a guy that I have such tremendous respect for, and that I was there day one when he won his first game with the Spurs, and now he's broken the record.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible what Gregg Popovich has accomplished. Of course, you hit the go-ahead championship clinching shot in the NBA Finals in '99, and look, there you are. Look at the young Avery Johnson next to Pop on the sideline. What are you guys talking about right there?
We just talking about I'm the coach and he's the assistant.
It's fantastic.
And that's what happens. He was really good to me. I wasn't the most talented player on the team. Obviously, the attention was around David Robinson and Tim Duncan and all the great players. But he allowed me to be me. He allowed me to lead, be the coach on the floor. Didn't take anything personal. We had short-term memory. If we had differences, we bounced back the next day. And that's what I love about him and his communication skills. He was always good at communicating with his players and being able, even if we disagreed, we were unified when we presented to the team. And that's why he's such a special coach.
He was a 3-time NBA Coach of the Year. You won Coach of the Year when you were with the Mavs. From a coaching perspective, what did it mean to be under Gregg Popovich and knowing his coaching style? And what did you perhaps take from Pop when you became a head coach in the NBA?
What I took from Pop was discipline, details, determination, and make sure that your players were ready to play at the most opportune times in the game. And that's what I did when I coached Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk Nowitzki wanted to be an all-star. He wanted to be an MVP. He wanted to have a chance to go to the championship. And we built a really solid relationship so that he can perform at the best time in the toughest times of the game. Pop did that with Tim Duncan. We didn't have many plays early on when I was with the Spurs, and that was by design. Our best play was 4 down, and Pop said, make sure when we got in trouble, call 4 down. Make sure that the ball found Tim Duncan. That's what we did. So it wasn't molecular biology. It was basketball. It was really simple. He simplified the game, and through that simplification process, he is now the greatest coach in the history of NBA basketball.
I think Phil Jackson, Red Auerbach, would like a word with you, Avery, on that. I mean,
No,
I
Phil
appreciate
Jackson,
what you're saying.
No.
But, I mean, you got to consider that as well, right?
No, I can consider that. Phil Jackson coached Michael Jordan with the Bulls, Kobe and Shaq in pretty much large markets. Pop did it with one team. One team. Pop didn't go from San Antonio to another team. Phil Jackson went from Chicago to the Lakers, okay? Phil Jackson didn't decide. He never coached the New York Knicks. He was the president of basketball operations, and that's no knock on him. We respect Phil. We respect Red Auerbach, Pat Roddick, all the great coaches. But what Popovich has done, I'll put his resume up against anybody.
One of the things Pop is famous for is interviews. If you ask a lazy question, he'll crush you. He'll get snippy. If you ask a closed-ended question, he'll just answer sometimes with a yes or a no. He's definitely lightened up over the years, Avery. Did you ever think about giving him some tips with the media because you're so media savvy?
No, I didn't give him. I didn't want to give him any tips. What I wanted to do, and I hope in the future that I have this opportunity. I want to be one of the guys that interview him at the end of the first quarter or the third quarter, because I know if I have a chance to interview him, that I will be one of the few people to keep him in line and make sure that he answers the question.
See, that's a sign of a good professional right there. Avery Johnson, appreciate your perspective, certainly here on a historic night for your former head coach and friend, Gregg Popovich. Avery, thanks.
And congratulations to Pop, and go Spurs go. Well deserved.
Well-deserved indeed. And speaking of a Gregg Popovich interview post-game after his historic victory in San Antonio.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.